Hi, Dan Kelly here. I'm going to show you a use of this thing that I've been called RPN. It's a command line, sort of application written in Python. And my abbreviation for it is comma RPN. So that's the first thing. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a little macro. I'm going to define a macro, which will convert degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, because sometimes you'll see a recipe in degrees Fahrenheit and maybe you like to use degrees Celsius instead. So I'm going to be making a library. So dash L means using a library. It's going to create it if it doesn't exist already. And you're going to see in a minute, I use the same syntax to use it. So I'm going to name it the library deck.json and it accretes. So if later on I want to add more stuff to my library, I can do that. Okay, so let's see. So to convert, what you do is subtract 32 and multiply by 5/9. And this is a reverse Polish notation thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a token and a name and the word def. So the token is going to be in quotes. So I subtract 32 from the Fahrenheit. I multiply by 5. I divide by 7. So in quotes there, that's the reverse Polish to convert from Fahrenheit to degrees C. Now I'm going to give the name of the macro or function or whatever you want to call it. And the rule in RPN, at least as it exists at the moment, is that it has to start with an underline character. The reason for that is I'm not done adding operators. So like a user could define something called sign. Sign's already in there, but you could define something called sign. And then when the RPN encounters sign, how does it know whether to use your sign or the built-in sign? So none of the built-in things are going to start with underline. Now I may change this to require uppercase, but I think I like underline. So I'm going to call it F to C. Um, and what I'm doing is I'm defining. So that's what I'll do. And after having done that, it's made this little JSON file, curly, curly, and it's got the name of I don't know what to call this. The name of the entry, I guess, is underline FTC, and that's what it is. Okay, so that's good. And if I were to run this again and define something else, C to F perhaps, that would be sort of accreted, would be accumulated in here. And I can redefine stuff later as well. Okay, so let's see if let's use it. So we're going to, again, be running RPN using the same library. Otherwise, it won't load up. Now, I might make it such that it will automatically use like a dot file for a library. But I think I don't like it that much because if I do it this way and I share this code, then people will know, oh, could you also send me the dek.json file? I don't like hidden behaviors like that. Anyway, lots of recipes will say to cook something until okay, if it's like meat, it'll say like cook it to 165. That's a temperature which will um, pretty safely get rid of bacteria. Okay, so the way you invoke it is 165, and then you name the function or macro, whatever we're calling it. And what RPN will do is it'll expand it when it sees this. It's going to take this and it's going to expand it by spaces. That's why I've got spaces in there. I do that, you see that the temperature in Celsius, of course, the safe cooking temperature in Celsius is 74 degrees. Most people know that anyway, but I thought this might be a good little example to show. Now, in the sort of show notes, I don't know if I call it show notes, but anyway, in the notes for this YouTube video, I'm going to put a link to the GitHub page where you can get this RPN thing. But bear in mind that it's under development. And when I say def here, I could define it as something else later on. And I could change this rule about the underline and maybe the L. I do like L for library, but yes, stuff could change. All right, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.